It works. I can do this shit while driving. Goddamn. Little pilot here with your iced coffee. Ooh, it's shaky though. But not because my camera sucks, because it's sitting in the front of the van. It's sitting in this compartment. Folks, it's Friday afternoon, Friday morning. This morning, I woke up late. Was not feeling it. I didn't get out of bed until 4 a.m. I leave for work from the hotel at 4:30. I did manage, so it was like 3:50 I got out of bed. Brush my teeth, get changed. Ran downstairs, let pilot out. That's like, I know I've talked about this before. He is such a picky bathroom goer. It is the most annoying thing. Gosh, dude has the liberty of going anywhere. Shit wherever you want, bud. Preferably not indoors. Anywhere outdoors. Like, go ahead, do it on the sidewalk. I don't care. Does not bother me. I'll pick it up. Sounds good. I mean, it's probably gonna smush and there's probably gonna be a little bit left over, but hey, I did the best I could. Maybe I'll get a little mulch, throw it on there, scrub it around, whatever. Be aware of motorcycles, share the road. Is bike weekend coming up? I'm in New Hampshire right now. Laconia is like an hour away. That's the big biker weekend thing. Is that in the summer? I feel like that's fall. Yeah, so I was able to get him out. He at least peed. He didn't poop. I knew he had to though. I mean, he ate dinner last night. Anyways, I was able to make a breakfast sandwich. I had to take it to go, and I was able to make coffee. I had to take it to go. No biggie. So that was my morning yesterday. Straight off work, got back to the hotel, scooped up pilot, hit the road, went down to Northern Mass to take the Weld test. That I failed like miserably. Wasn't for any other reason than I rushed and I got in my own head. So I got there and there's just a pipe stand sitting there, just a stand, and 2 pieces of stainless pipe, a machine sitting on the ground, an argon bottle, like cool, whatever. I look at the pipe, it's already prepped. It's prepped fairly well. It's not machine bevels or anything like that, but it was prepped well enough. It wasn't trash. So then it's been a while, and I'm like, what kind of gap do I want? I want a 332 gap. 99% of you guys are gonna have no fucking clue what I'm talking about right now. Don't know if there's a single person that welds that watches this video, but maybe in the future somebody will. I don't know. But I'm going to tell you about it anyways, because I got nothing left to do for 2 hours and 15 minutes while I drive to Vermont. So, I was like, I want a 332 gap. That's what I want to run. Cool. I'm like, but I want a little bit of a tight one. So I set the purge up, I set the gap, I go to tack it, I can't get the welder to weld, like it won't initiate an arc to start welding. I'm like, that's weird. What's going on here? And the guy's like, oh, it's set up for high frequency start. I've never used that on a TIG torch other than a foot pedal. So I've used a foot pedal, but this had the thumb trigger, but it was like a wheel. It wasn't like a toggle, like a switch, like bink on, bink off. No, it had this wheel. Never used one a day in my life, ever. So I'm like, all right, well, I mean, the machine's capable of doing lift arc, where you touch the tungsten to the metal, and when the machine understands, hey, it touches, it knows not to spark right then. It knows when you lift it off to then spark. It's smart. The machine's capable of it. It has a setting on the machine for it. I couldn't figure out how to get it to work properly. Neither could the guy that owns the machine. He's like, yeah, no, I know. I mean, Jimmy runs his lift arc. The other guys run them on high freak. It's all preference. I mean, it doesn't matter how you do it. You know, welding's welding. You know, I mean, as long as you weld well, like, whatever. So I'm like, well, I mean, I'm just not familiar with how to do this. He's like, yeah, we'll try to get it on lift arc, and we're screwing with it, trying this, trying that. It's vibrating away from me. Can't figure it out. It's just not happening. So he's like, well, what if you tack it in high freak, and then you don't gotta weld it until we figure out how to like get it to do lift arc. I'm like, all right. So I'm trying, like, because what I have to do is I have to hold the TIG torch really close to the metal, and then use this thumb wheel and like crank it up to get the heat going, and then like do other stuff, and then crank it down to stop the arc. There's a lot going on there. It's not that much. You're literally just moving a thumb dial, but I had the machine set to where I want it set, and I guess looking back at it, I should have cranked it to be a higher amperage, because I was comfortable like starting the arc with the thumb wheel, but then you had to continuously crank the wheel up to get it to go hotter. You know, like when you first start it, it's like when you turn a faucet on, right? Like, I got a drip going, but now I need to keep turning the faucet, or pushing the lever, or turning the knob, whatever, to get more flow out of it. Same thing with this torch. And I couldn't get my hand to do it without freaking moving my whole arm, which shouldn't be doing that, because then you're arcing all over the place. Anyways, get it tacked up, not great. I had the tight gap, which then, it's been a while. I should have had a loose gap, because it shrinks when you tack it. I know this. I didn't know it at that second. I knew it, I just didn't think of it. So the pipe slams up on me. Oh, this is getting real shaky. Sorry here, folks. Oh well, you'll deal with it. I feel like this is more of a podcast than a video anyways, because I don't ever go anywhere. I don't really show you much. I just talk. Anyways. So I get it tacked. There's a fisheye in one of them. Not stoked about that, and my gap's pretty small now, and I'm like, all right, not the end of the world. Like, it's all manageable stuff. We finally figure out how to get it to do lift arc, and I'm like, okay, like, no big deal. But I'm like sweating it at this point, because I'm like, man, don't I look fucking stupid? Like, come here like all like, yeah, I'll rip a weld test for you, let's go. Like, I didn't say it exactly like that, but I was confident enough when I was talking to the guy on the phone, and when I showed up, like, yeah, let's go. And then I'm like, how do I do this? So I felt dumb and I felt rushed, which there was no fucking rush at all. But I felt it because I'm like, damn, dude, like, you look dumb as shit. It took you like 30 minutes to put 2 tacks on. Like, what the heck? So I should have just kind of like not quit, but like just fucking chilled out, like, and not done anything for a minute, because that then turned into me being shaky. Like my hand was like shaking a little bit, and it then also made me like continue to rush, like, ooh, like this needs to be done in X amount of time. It does not need to be done in X amount of time. There was no time limit. I mean, it's a small coupon test, so it shouldn't have taken very long to do it. And that's what was in my head. It was like, it's 2-inch pipe, like, it's small. It should not take me more than 30 minutes to weld this, period, like, at all. It's really thin stuff. Like, it should have been fine. So then I'm shaky, I'm kind of rushing, and add on top of it that the lens in my hood, I knew I shouldn't have used it, but I was using it. It first started kind of acting up way back on that Massachusetts job, where it won't darken right away, which you then are like blind and you're like sitting under your hood like, oh shit, like I can't see. Meanwhile, the arc's going. When the arc's going, there's heat going into the metal. You're melting metal. Like, you need to do something. So that happened. Yeah. But anyways, I just completely botched the fucking test. In my opinion. I put the root in the first pass to connect the 2 pieces of pipe. I then look at the guy, I go, hey, do you have a preference on, like, how you want to see it capped? Do you want it free-handed? Do you want to walk the cup? Like, what do you have? And he's like, oh, you got the root in? I go, yeah. And my thought was, he's going to tell me what he wants for a cap. I'm going to then take a look at the root after he tells me, and then I'm going to adjust my machine accordingly and go from there. Because if I had any lack of fusion anywhere or anything like that, I was going to crank the machine up, make it a little hotter so that when I was putting the cap in, it would burn through, good to go. He's like, well, let's take a look at the root. And I'm like, didn't really want to do that right this second, but all right. I should have known, because typically, if it was a bigger coupon and it's a multi-pass situation, they're going to want to look at your route before you keep going. So, stupid on me. Or, not, I mean, not stupid. I should have asked when we started the test, hey, like, do you want to check the fit up and then the route and then the cap? Like, how do you want to run the test? I should have asked that. So he takes a look and he's like, all right, it's not too bad. And then I look and I'm like, well, you said this has got to get x-rayed, right? And he's like, yeah. And I go, well, I mean, it's not going to shoot, you know, like it's not going to pass. He goes, I can make it pass. And I'm like, what? Like, in my head, I'm like, no, you can't. Because, like, this, I can literally see a spot that's not going to pass x-ray. Like, I can see it. So I grabbed my mirror out of my bucket and I pulled it in there and I'm like, that's no good. At which point he's like, yeah, but like, I'm not worried about it. Like, you proved you can weld. Like, yeah, like, and I'm over here like, all right, well, like where are you going with that? So he says, I haven't heard anything. Like, I haven't heard anything today, but yesterday he's like, yeah, well, I mean, I want to hire you anyways. And I'm just like, what? Like, I mean, I didn't even pass your test. Well, I mean, not in my opinion. Like, I don't know if his test was just, hey, prove to me you can weld in a circle. Like, I don't know. But, supposedly he still wants me on the job. we'll see. But yeah, I mean, in all reality, I should not be on that job. I want to be on the job because it sounds cool. They're doing like 400 or 500 feet of 6-inch stainless pipe down at a GE plant in Massachusetts. They're redoing like a test cell for some new engine GE's making. Yeah, and they're on like 610s right now, probably going to 12s. So it'd be some serious overtime. Yeah, I don't know. We will see. That's the Weld test story. The no parking story. I feel like Thomas didn't actually leave the note. I feel like someone else did on Thomas's behalf. I have not gotten a call back from Thomas. Yeah. And I said I was going to leave. I think I talked. I don't know if we're going to re-talk about this. He left the note on the door, stuck it between the window and the window seal. I was going to leave the note right back there, and then I'm like, wait a minute, bad idea. Because what if he goes by and sees that there's a note still there and is like, this van's abandoned, I'm getting it towed. I was like, oh shit, bad idea. Well, the outlets have like a, I don't know, like an information desk or a customer service desk or something like that, right next to the hotel area. So I just walked over and I put his business card right in the door of that customer service area. I said, I told you what I wrote on it. And that note is missing from the door. So either somebody swiped it or someone found it. Because I really highly doubt he goes to that office every day. You know what I mean? He has somebody that works in that office, I'm sure. And they probably have access to his business cards. You know what I mean? Like, it's just a business card. Especially for when you get I want to talk to your manager. Well, here's his business card. You know what I mean? So, I feel like he didn't leave the note. Because if he did, I mean, number one, I feel like he would have definitely given a call back. And that's all the numbers I have, just number one. I feel like if he got the note, he definitely would have called him back. Because then he definitely would have known he had a voicemail if he doesn't regularly check it or have some type of alert for voicemails. Then he would have listened to the voicemail and heard with a voicemail. Which, both times, I was like, yeah, please call me back. And I didn't go leaving my phone number on that business card because you never know who's going to get it. Then they might start spamming me. That's a old fat. Yeah. So I need to remain on the job search. Yeah, because yeah. Whoops. What are you gonna do? First actual like on-site weld test. I'm glad like it was in this situation, not in like a different one. Meaning like usually, like, oh shit, I'm out of work. I call up a company like, yeah, you can work for us. Come take a weld test. Like, I'm not working. I have no income. You go take a test and you just bust like, and then and it's not like you can just call up. Usually you can't call up a company and get a test scheduled like that quickly. You know what I mean? Like, they want to see your resume. What are your references? Nah, you're too new. I'm not going to bother calling you back. I don't want to let you working for me. So there's usually like, it's going to take a while for me to get, you know, on a test. This jamoke. Like, come on, bro. I hate these people. Like, you see traffic backed up, and like you have to try to sneak around to get 3 cars ahead. Like, come on, bro. I get it. The zipper works, but we're shrinking down to 1 lane. Like, we're already in 1 lane of traffic. Like, what? There's no stop sign. There's no intersection that we're going to be blocking. What's the big deal? Anyways, I think that's it. What else do I have to ramble about? Oh, the whole job thing. Yeah, so like, luckily it's this situation where like I'm actively employed. I hate what I'm doing, and I can't wait to leave. But also, it's nice to have had that screw up just yesterday, like while I'm still employed with an income. So that's good. Yeah. Because on the flip side, I could have no income right now and be on like the job search for real. And another thing is, like, I could have driven like 1,000 miles to go take that test. But that's why I have a 1-year goal of being comfortable and capable of going into any weld test like that's presented to me. Because not all of them are like super easy either. Like some, oh God, that just got worse. Most of them are just like, here's 2 pieces of metal, put them up in a position, weld it. Some weld tests are like, all right, we want you to do this position and this position. This side of the pipe is going to be done in this position. The other side of the pipe is going to be in this position. You need to call me between every pass so I can look, and then we're going to move it, yada yada. Or it'll be restricted. You'll be put in like a crammed up spot, and then you got to weld. So yeah, but part of getting to that comfortability level is going to be like getting on a job where I actually fucking weld, instead of like all these past jobs where I'm not really welding, not at a consistent rate at least. So I don't know. We'll see. But the test that I just failed, like, it wasn't like there was no holes in it. Like, I didn't do anything that was just like, whoa. I just know, like, I could do 110% better. Like, I'm capable of it. I just didn't do it. Yeah. I mean, and there's no sugarcoating. Like, it would not have passed X-ray. I'm not trying to be like super critical on myself. Like, I am super critical, but also like there's no denying, like, it would not have passed an X-ray test. Like, period. No question about it. But it might have just been within the guy's like threshold of, the kid knows what he's doing. Like, he's not like an idiot. He needs some work. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know what's going on in the guy's head. But we'll see if anything actually like comes from it. Because like, I told him as soon as I could start would be the 15th. So he's like, all right, well, give me tomorrow to figure out how we got to do this. Because it was essentially a question of, is he trying to hire me on straight through him or through the recruiter that I found the job from? So that remains to be seen. Yeah, going to Vermont. I'm gonna go biking tomorrow with Joseph and Megan out at Killington. That should be fun. Yep, that's all I got. bud. You're on the spot. You got anything to say? No? Alright. Is this funny or what, folks? Like, that is his preferred van sleeping position. He puts his snout in the door handle and it like holds his head up. I don't get how that's comfortable. Can you guys see that? Oh geez, this is dangerous. Now I'm like hands-on. I think that's funny. Alright, I gotta put the phone down. This is dangerous. I shouldn't be doing this. Have a good day, folks.